Back to school, but are
Now a story about meth. Well, we've had plenty of those, haven't we? But this one, well, it's different. How far should we go to combat our community's growing meth problem? In Mississippi, lawmakers and police say they have found the answer, making the key ingredient, pseudoephedrine, a prescription-only drug. Lawmakers in Indiana and Kentucky are considering similar laws. It is inconvenient, yes, but we are asking, is it worth it? An Eyewitness News special report now. Our David Shepard traveled to the Deep South, to Jackson, Mississippi, to get a first-hand look at the fight to go prescription only.
Back in 2010, Mississippi became only the second state in the nation to require a prescription for pseudoephedrine, the key ingredient in making meth. But not everyone's on board with this new law. So we traveled here to Jackson, Mississippi to get the story. Jackson, Mississippi, 2009. Lawmakers and police realize they have a serious problem on their hands.
For the first time in the history of the state of Mississippi drug enforcement, our meth arrest had exceeded a combined total of our powder and crack cocaine arrest.
We were reading in our papers literally every day. It was absolutely epidemic in this state.
An epidemic that costs lives, destroys families, and oftentimes leaves children abused and neglected by their meth-using parents.
This is a different kind of demon that's out there. Access to pseudoephedrine equals meth labs. You know, it's just as simple as that. And we know it. Congress has known it for 30 years. They've passed watered-down pieces of legislation.
Marshall Fisher, the director of Mississippi's Bureau of Narcotics, approached Representative Steve Holland about the problem, and Holland agreed to sponsor a bill making pseudoephedrine a prescription-only drug.
Some of the law enforcement people to say it might be the most significant bill passed in 50 years in the war on drugs.
But the law didn't come without a fight.
Everybody raised hell, you know, the doctors, the pharmacists, you know, we can't live, you're going to put us out of business. As I would do, I drank their whiskey and ate their steaks and told them to go to hell and sent it on through the process anyway because it was right.
House Speaker Greg Snowden was one of only 2 lawmakers in the House to vote against the bill when it went through in 2010.
I was concerned about the inconvenience to law-abiding citizens. I mean, if you have to get a prescription to get a medication that you're used to getting off the counter, you know, it's a problem.
They can get a year's supply by prescription, okay? And I mean, so what the heck? They got to go to the doctor once a year. Anybody's got that kind of problem is going to go once a year anyway. They should go for a physical. We actually sell it as a positive.
But a year later, the Speaker saw the numbers. In 2009, before passing the law requiring a prescription for pseudoephedrine, the state saw 446 meth lab busts. But a year after that law passed, the number tanked to just 145 in the entire state.
I just wasn't sure it would work, and so I voted against it. I said at the time when I voted against the legislation that I hoped it would be a bad vote.
It's nothing short of astronomical. And what's been saved has been nothing short of astronomical in the last year that this has been a law in the state of Mississippi.
And what about the public outcry lawmakers thought they were going to hear after the law passed?
I have not heard the outcry that frankly I thought we would.
We hadn't had a one to testify a year later, anything but absolute positives.
Opponents say there are other options out there to fight meth, like an advanced tracking system that is much less inconvenient. But Mississippi's top drug cop says it's used more to prosecute and not to stop the spread of the meth epidemic.
People like me in Kentucky that I talk to say malarkey. We use that after the fact to bolster a case, if you know what I mean. They go back and show that you and me went and bought the stuff. But they don't have time to sit on these pharmacies and follow these violators around.
Now, Mississippi is a state that claims to have beaten the often considered unbeatable, the war on a drug so powerful it doesn't discriminate, something Representative Holland knows all too well.
My nephew is still serving a prison sentence. It just wrecked my brother's family's lives. It wrecked his health.
As Indiana and Kentucky consider similar bills, even those originally against the prescription-only law have advice to lawmakers here.
I would like to think that most citizens realize that if in fact, again, if in fact it's you know, a significant tool in the drug war, then it's worth it. And most law-abiding citizens are willing to make that sacrifice. And I'm sure you have lawmakers there like I was that are skeptical. So, do your homework and make the tough decisions. That's what folks sent us to the Capitol to do.
On special assignment in Jackson, Mississippi, David Shepard, Eyewitness News.